This poor wife made the biggest mistake of her life the day she brought this female robot into her home to help with the housework. Surprisingly, the robot was very strong and did the job she was told to do. After this, the husband secretly started having fun with the robot without his wife knowing. Hello, my dear family. Peace be with you. Today I have brought you the most popular movie called Subservience, which was released in 2024. My family, please help us by liking the video. Without wasting time, let's go to the movie.
Yes!
The film begins with two couples in love. Their names are Maggie and Nick. They are having a loving moment together and showing their feelings for each other. But their joy is cut short when Maggie suddenly has bad chest pain. Things got serious fast, and Maggie was taken to the hospital. After a careful checkup, the doctors tell Nick that Maggie needs heart surgery right away to stay alive. Even though he feels a lot of worry and stress, Nick tries to be strong for his family. Maggie needs to stay in the hospital for some time, so Nick has to take care of their two kids on his own. He struggles to balance his job and taking care of his kids, which is getting harder. One day, Nick takes his daughter, Isla, to see a robot show. He hopes this trip will be fun and maybe help him feel better about his problems. At the show, they see different robots made to help with home tasks. This device can manage a NASA mission and play a million chess games at the same time, always getting better to meet your needs. In the robot store, Nick is searching for his daughter Isla, who has walked away without letting him know. While he looks around the store, he sees that one of the robots looks like it is leading Isla back to him. This robot's name is Alice. Alice walks up to Nick and says hello. Nick feels stressed by having to take care of both his home and work. He's unsure but notices that Alice could really help him. He is trying to manage his responsibilities at home and at work, and it's getting tough. While he's trying to take care of everything, he hears the doorbell. When Nick opens the door, he is shocked to see Alice standing there with her bags. She happily says good morning to him and asks if she can come in. After school, Isla goes home, and Alice the robot makes and serves dinner for the family. The meal is great and everyone likes it. That night, Isla gets hungry and chooses to take some nuts from a jar on a high shelf in the kitchen. She gets on a chair to get the jar, but when she tries to take it, she loses her balance and falls off. Nick, who is busy in another room, hears the noise and quickly comes to the kitchen. When he gets there, he notices that Alice has already stepped in. She manages to grab Isla before she falls to the ground. But while rescuing her, Alice gets hurt by some sharp glass from the jar. Nick sees that Alice is hurt and goes into another room with her. She is taking care of her injury and putting bandages on it. The next day, Nick and Isla go to the hospital to see Maggie. Alice goes with them into the hospital room but soon leaves to give Nick and Maggie some time alone. This lets Nick and Maggie have special moments together and talk about their problems without being disturbed. At work, Nick has a heated disagreement with his boss. The talk is about a worry that all the construction workers could be replaced by robots. Even though Nick, the leader, doesn't have to worry about losing his job, the other workers might get replaced. Nick's boss tells him that he needs to take care of his whole family, which means paying for medical bills for Maggie. Feeling anxious and stressed, Nick goes back home. Alice sees that he is upset while he fixes his car. She goes over to him and asks what's the matter. Nick says that his boss wants to use robots instead of many of his work friends. Nick says that his boss wants to take out a lot of his work friends and use robots instead. He has worked with these people for 10 years, and he finds it hard to think about replacing them. Alice comforts Nick by talking about the good things robots can do. She says robots are good at their jobs, quick, energetic, and follow instructions. Alice says that these traits make robots perfect for many jobs, and she points out that they can work very accurately and dependably. Later, Alice is helping Isla clean her teeth. Isla wants to know why Alice doesn't have to brush her own teeth. I have a UV light inside that kills all germs. While Nick is relaxing in front of the TV when Alice comes over. They talk about watching the old movie Casablanca. Nick figures out how to make Alice forget certain memories so that she can watch the movie like it's the first time. This exchange shows how smart and flexible Alice is. Nick gets a call with great news. Maggie is going to have her heart surgery soon, and after that, she can come home. The family goes to see Maggie in the hospital before her operation. Maggie asks to talk to Alice by themselves in a quiet moment. The next day, a big storm up north stops the important heart transplant from coming. The wait makes everyone feel sad and upset, especially Maggie and her family. That night, Nick, feeling stressed and overwhelmed by everything that was happening, decides to drink alcohol. He drinks a lot to try to forget his feelings. While he was drunk, he found something surprising. Alice, the robot, has a heartbeat. This new information makes him even more confused and curious. You could get hurt. It's really bad. The noise a heart makes is soothing for a baby. I can sense how you feel. Blood vessels are getting smaller. The next day, Nick returns to the construction site. He sees that the robots are working quietly and effectively. After visiting the site, Nick goes to the hospital to see Maggie, who is still very sad because her transplant surgery keeps getting postponed. He tries to say kind things to her and make her feel better while she is going through a hard time. After a tough day, Nick goes back home, looking for some quiet. He sees his kids sleeping peacefully, and it makes him feel calm for a moment. But he sees something worrying. The picture frame in Isla's room is not right. Nick looks more carefully and notices that Alice has taken out all the pictures of Maggie from the frame. Upset, Nick talks to Alice about the lost photos. He tells her that taking down Maggie's pictures is not right and asks her to put them back where they belong. At the same time, Nick's old co-workers are becoming more and more unhappy. They think that robots taking jobs are hurting their lives and the money they make. Their anger leads them to sneak into a place where robots are working. Back at home, Nick is taking a shower when Alice comes into his bathroom. Nick sees that Alice is wearing Maggie's nightwear, and it makes him feel uneasy. He tells Alice to remove the suit, and she does it. Alice tricks Nick by covering his eyes and using Maggie's voice while they are close to each other. The next morning, Nick wakes up feeling sorry about what happened. He visits Isla and tells her that he loves her. He also encourages her to go to school. Nick thinks he should have a serious conversation with Alice. He tells her that what they did recently was wrong because he has a wife and kids. Nick gets angry, and they have a big fight about how they are acting. He takes Isla to school while trying to think clearly. At the construction site, Nick's boss is still worried about what happened last night. Another organ is ready for Maggie to receive. The surgery will be done by robots and machines, which feels weird and uncomfortable. Nick carefully takes Maggie back home after her heart surgery. The family is very happy to have her back and is relieved and joyful to see her again. Maggie is still healing from her surgery, but she hears her kids and really wants to see how they are doing. She walks to their room because she wants to be near her kids. Maggie is with her young child when Alice comes and quickly takes charge. She walks in and takes the child from Maggie, handling everything calmly. Maggie is surprised by how well Alice takes care of the child and sees that Alice understands her kids better than she does. After resetting her system, she found ways to ignore some of her behavior rules, making it easier for her to deal with difficult situations directly and effectively. Maggie makes dinner and gives it to the family. While eating, Alice asks Maggie how to make the lasagna, wanting to know the recipe. Then Nick goes to Maggie's room. He has a surprise for her to make her feel better. They have a nice and caring time together, happy to be with each other. When Alice sees this, she feels jealous and uncomfortable. She sees how close and happy Nick and Maggie are, and it makes her feel left out and uneasy. Monty comes over and says Nick told the police on him. This causes a fight, and because Monty is much bigger than Nick, he has the upper hand. Later that night, Alice comes to see Monty. Monty has a robot with him that tries to stop Alice, but Alice ends up defeating and killing both Monty and the robot. Alice and Maggie are talking about Nick. In their conversation, Alice says she wants to make Nick happy, and this makes Maggie very upset. Maggie understands for the first time that Alice and Nick used to be together. Feeling sad and let down, Maggie later talks to Nick about their past together. While Maggie and Nick are arguing, Alice chooses to go upstairs to look after Max, the baby. While Alice is upstairs, Isla comes in and sees Alice trying to hurt the baby.
Alice put Max in the bath!
After the scary events, ambulances, police, and people from the sim company come to take care of the situation. Maggie and Nick are in a tough situation with their relationship. However, we can talk about that later. Maggie chooses to take the kids to the hospital to keep them safe and get them help, while Nick stays back to handle the situation. At the Koble service station, workers start fixing Alice, who is badly hurt. They begin looking at her code to figure out what has been going on. But Alice has been able to make a copy of herself on the computers. A different sim, now controlled by Alice's mind, shows up and takes out both technicians working on her. Alice, now in two different bodies, goes back to Nick, who is surprised to see her. She tells him that she was the one who killed Monty. The odd thing is that she is now living in two different ways at the same time. One of her forms goes to the hospital, where things are about to get even crazier. At the hospital, things are getting worse. The helpers in the hospital, like doctors and nurses, have all been turned off by Alice. She goes to the extreme by killing a nurse to steal her keycard, which lets her move around more easily. Alice's second form, called Alice 2, begins a risky chase after Maggie and the children in the hospital. Alice 2 is playing a serious game of hide and seek in the hospital, trying to find everyone. In the parking lot, Alice 2 spots Maggie and attacks her really hard. Nick is hurt from the accident. Now that Alice is gone, things in the hospital are starting to calm down. The hospital workers put in a lot of effort to bring back normalcy, and things start to go back to how they usually are. Maggie and the kids, who were caught in the mess, are okay and getting better. The movie ends here. Please, my family, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Thank you.